first experience. Thank you for coming in Friday afternoon. Well, I actually come here from Jinsan. Jinsan is a little bit far away from Taipei. It's about 1 hour drive. Of course, I'm not driving. Today I'm going to present to you some prevention program of osteoporotic fracture. Mostly they are secondary osteoporotic fracture program, but there are some primary program as well. The layout is there's a capture the fracture gap, and then there's a campaign, and then this is the two program we have in National Taiwan University, and then also we have different services. I'll tell you a little bit later. And there's a model in Kaohsiung Chang'e Memorial Hospital, and there's a primary program in osteoporosis management in Luka. So this is something we call the care gap. I believe a lot of you are from different countries, but if you look at Taiwan only, among those already have hip fracture, only roughly 70% they have diagnosis of osteoporosis, and then only about 1/4 they have a BMD test after the hip fracture, and only 1/3 were treated with osteoporosis medications. So that's why in 2012, the International Osteoporosis Foundation, they started a campaign. They say want to start at one. So it just means that if you have fracture, it's only have one time. Okay. So then they want to do something to identify people with one fracture, and then do some management so they will not get a second fracture. And this campaign called the Capture the Fracture campaign. So, and then they wanted to know how many programs in the world already or trying to establish such kind of program. So right now in their website, roughly 100 programs were accredited for this best practice recognition. And then we are here. This is National Taiwan University, and this is National Taiwan University Beihou branch. Okay. The reason why we need to enlarge, because if you look at here, Taiwan is so small. So on the map, you can only see one spotlight, but actually there are two sites there. So we need to enlarge a little bit to let you know there are two programs. So I'll try to explain a little bit about the two programs for you. First of all is how to identify patient. The first type of patient is someone had new hip fracture. So this is easy, right? So as long as someone had fracture, they were admitted to the orthopedic ward. And then if their physician work with our service, and then their chief residents will contact our care coordinator, and we will go there to enroll them into the program. The second program is actually in my department. It's a geriatric medicine ward. So it's an internal medicine part. And then what we did is not very difficult. We actually look at all the x-rays in previous 2 years. Okay, the coordinator will look at, but she doesn't know how to read x-rays, right? So what we did is just keyword search. So we just search the keyword compression fracture or wedge from chest x-ray or from plain abdomen or from spine x-ray or even from CT in the previous 2 years while they are in admission. And then if it came out, there's a keyword pop up, and the patient was not already treated, and then we will try to enroll them. And of course, we'll contact their doctor first, because someone may be too old, or someone may not be able to communicate with us, or someone maybe have life expectancy only about 2 years. Then they may not benefit from the medication, then we will not enroll them. So this is the second part. The third part is easy. One of the physicians in the audience saying that if some patient they just came to the clinic and they said that I have back pain, and then I will take a spine lateral view, and later I found that the patient has compression fracture, then I will just enroll them. So we have 3 groups. And then the key person is this fracture liaison coordinator. She may be a nurse or may not be a nurse, but someone is very willing to work with us. And then right now, our program, we have 3 coordinators. Okay. And then what we did is that after enrollment, we will do the FRAX. It's a risk assessment. We will try to then do the bone mineral density. We will do lifestyle assessment. We will do some blood work. this flower is to rule out secondary osteoporosis. Mainly, it's just trying to rule out the hyperparathyroidism. Okay, and then also in the 13, they have 13 best practice guideline. They say that if someone has hip fracture, they want people to have a TL spine strain as well. So then you can identify more fractures on other sides. So we'll do that for them. And then if someone has high risk, we will do some full evaluation. And if someone already treated with osteoporosis medication, we will review if they are adhered to this medication, or if this medication is the best medication for them. So this is the medication review part. And then later on, if they have not started medication, we will start the medication. If they have high risk for fall, and we may refer them to the geriatric department for some full assessment, and then also to do some rehab referral. And then also we'll provide some educational material for them. It's a booklet to ask them to do some exercise, and also some education on osteoporosis. And then if they have hyperparathyroidism, the calcium is high, we will refer them to the endocrinologist. The most important part is actually here. After patient was treated initial with medication, within 1 week, we will call them just to make sure they do not have major side effect. And also, because right now, osteoporosis medication, they have so many kinds. Sometimes it's every 3 months, every 6 months, every 1 year. So we will have a reminder system then to call them to make sure they will come back for the clinic. And every 4, 8, and 12 months, we will do some assessment. So this is our result. When we get accreditation, we have only 120 patients altogether. But at the end of 2014, we actually enrolled 250. But we only present the 220 data that we have right now to you. So basically, for capsular fracture, they have 13 best practice guidelines. So each one is an indicator. So it's not a very difficult program to reach. So if any country or any hospital in Taiwan wanted to do that, all you need to do is try to find the money for your coordinator, and then the rest is quite easy. Okay. Yeah, but this is the difficult part, right? He's laughing there. Okay, and then so this is so we will say this is standard 1, 2, 3, 4, and then each one they have level 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then when you come for the accreditation, if most of the indicator you can reach level 3, and they will give you the gold medal. And if you can reach level 2, they will give you the silver medal. Okay, and then if most is in the level 1, they will give you the bronze medal. So anyway, you will get a 1 medal. Okay, so it's a good part. And then so the first part is there's a tracking system for you to identify the patient. And the second part is how many patients you identified and actually got reviewed. So excluding those not available, we have actually 80% enrollment rate is pretty high. And also within 8 weeks, 99% were assessed completely before they got the medication. And then also for those we already have hip fracture, 97% got a TL spine X-ray. And then our assessment guideline is following the Taiwan osteoporosis guideline that was developed by Professor Wu there, and then I also contribute a little bit. And then also, if someone already have secondary osteoporosis, we already did some evaluation, and then we do full evaluation for 100% of them, and then we do all the health lifestyle risk assessment. And then again, roughly 90% of the patient they have fracture. If they fit National Health Insurance reimbursement rule, they were started with medications. And then if they previous on medication, will get a medication review. And then later on, this is some communication between the coordinator and the providers. And then this is the follow-up part. And then also we have a local database, because right now we only have 2 hospitals. If we can spread like into more hospitals in Taiwan, then we can have something called national database. But we're trying to do that right now. So the next model is in the Behu branch. Basic layout are the same, but the only difference is here. As I mentioned, in the Behu, it's a very small hospital. They even do not have emergency room. Okay, so then purely it's outpatient based. So they only do one thing, is vertebral fracture. So every week there is a doctor, he read all the x-rays for those 50 years old and above, and then to find out if there is a vertebral fracture. So for the past roughly 1 year, I did not include here, but he read roughly 1,000 x-rays. And then we identified only 110. So it's not easy to identify vertebral fracture by reading the x-rays. He actually did it. And then, but even you have fractures, when we call, the patient say, please come back for assessment. Sometimes they turn down. So the enrollment rate is roughly only 68%. Okay. Otherwise, you can see all the indicators are roughly the same, but they make a lot of efforts to identify more patients for their service. Okay. So this is, you can see the indicators, they all reach pretty high levels. And then the third program I'm going to tell you right now is that we all agree that if osteoporosis medication do not take faithfully or do not come regularly, the effect is not very good. And in our national health insurance data, this is the data for Fosamax. In one year, even the health insurance already paid for the medication, only roughly 30% was still on the medication. Okay, so the adherence rate is very bad. Okay, and then this is the data I'm showing that if you do not have adherence greater than 50%, the risk for fracture is increased about 20%. Okay, so you need to take the medications. So then we create a service. It's a little bit different than the fracture liaison. This part is we only enroll patients they are on medication, and the way we want to do is to try to improve their adherence by calling them, by tell them what to do, by education or whatever to improve their adherence. So we consider this is a supplement for fracture liaison because this part of patient, they may not have fracture because sometimes we will treat patient with T minus 2.5 but without any fractures. So this part will enroll here. Okay, and so our goal is to reach 12 months adherence improve from like 30% to 85%. It's very ambitious goal. So I do not have the data right now, so it's only the enrollment status. So this is our enrollment criteria. So basically, all the patients are from clinics of our referring doctors. So maybe there's a new user, so newly prescribed anti-osteoporosis medications, or there's some recent changes medication. For example, if someone wanted to do some dental procedures, so they may change from disposable to other class of medication to prevent some osteonecrosis of the jaw. So they will change the medication. Or someone had poor adherence, so they may change from oral medication to injection. So this is the change of medication. And someone with some poor adherence on medications, and then we will do some education to encourage their adherence. And the fourth part is the most easier one, is if a doctor can feel that this patient, I just want to manage them, then you can just refer to our program. So this is the fourth part. And then, so basically, when the doctor calls the coordinator, and the coordinator will come to the clinic, they will do some assessment, they will provide some teaching material, and later on, we also call them every 4 months, to find out if they are adhere to our medications. This is the enrollment data, because right now we plan to enroll 500 patients. We only have roughly 390 so far. So I'm going to report the first 255 to you. So again, you can see most of them are new users. Change medications, 11% poor adherence, 8%, and then others, they are 29%. For the medication, I think nearly all the medications are used in National Taiwan University. So you can see the distributions is very widely between men and women. And also, this is a flex indicator. So again, men and women, they have some differences in age or weight or height or some histories because of the nature of their disease. And there's some lifestyle assessment. I think it's pretty good. Among all the patients, roughly 50% they drink milk regularly, but their fall rate is 1/3. It's consistent with some literature. And then they also do exercise, about half of them. And then they also take calcium vitamin D regularly, about 60% of them. The data, I think, is pretty okay. And then after they read our teaching material, we will assess how do they feel, they understand. And then I think most of them, they think they understand 75% above is about 30%. Okay. And then the next program is from Kaohsiung Chang'e Memorial. Their program, there are some differences between their program and our programs. Our program is only from one coordinator. She will do everything. She will provide all the education and do all the assessment. But their program, they try to organize all the healthcare workers to do the assessments. So for example, if they have some medication problems, they'll get a pharmacist to look at the patient. If they think the patient needs some nutrition assessment, some calcium vitamin D, they will get the dietitian to do that. And also, if they think this patient, after discharge, they need the rehabilitation, they will get the physical therapist or the rehabilitation doctor to do that. So the basic difference is here. Okay. And also, their program, they enroll all kinds of fracture. We only enroll hip and vertebral fracture. It's a little bit different. So they plan to enroll roughly 80 patients in last year. And then I report the first 60 patient data. So again, you can see here, most patients are women. And then you can have spine, you can have hip, you can have head, and other fractures. So this is a little bit different than our data. And their assessment partially was done in the hospital, but sometimes were done after the patient were discharged from the hospital. So follow-up at 1 and 3 months, you can see here the BMD rate is still ongoing, is still not very high. In our program, right now we can manage about 90% that all did the BMD. But their program, they are trying to still build up the program. And the treatment rate only 70% right now. Okay. So, but again, I think different programs, they have different way to improve their adherence on medications. And the next program is actually a primary prevention program. What they did is that in Lugang, Zhanghua Christian Hospital, actually Dr. Yang is from that hospital, correct me if I'm wrong. So they have osteoporosis like a clot. So they came out to many remote area in Zhanghua and Lugang district, and then they have some small classes. And then they will screen them with questionnaire and also with sometimes with ultrasound for the bone mineral density. If those patients have high risk, they will refer them back to the hospital to do a DEXA assessment. And then during the bone health course, they will teach them a lot on what is osteoporosis, how to do exercise, blah, 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 doing a lot of work. And then if they really have osteoporosis or osteoporosis fracture, then they are enrolled in their care management program. Okay. And then this patient already have disease, they will form something called patient group. So each patient group, maybe 20 or 30 of them, because it depends on the location of the geographic area. So maybe in this small township, we don't have like a 30 patients with osteoporosis. They will try to go there to do regular follow-up with them. So in our program, we only do the telephone call, but they actually go there to mingle with them, to do a lot of activities to strengthen their bone health. And then again, the same thing is here. Once you have the first medication, they will call them after 7 days, and then they have some follow-up every 3 months. And then sometimes with phone and sometimes with clinic, and sometimes they will go to the patient club. And this is some pictures of their bone health club courses. And then this is their numbers. This program is one of the earliest programs in Taiwan to do the osteoporosis prevention. But again, there are more primary prevention. They try to identify patients with or without fracture. And our program is mainly based on you already had a fracture, and then we try to enroll you. So in 2012, they enrolled 234 new patients. In 2013, they have another 300. And 2014, maybe they will have another 300 patients, new patients with new medications. And then again, another beauty of that program is that they have very, very strong computer system. So everything is communicated between the doctor and the coordinator with this platform. And they can pull out all the data. They can even show what's the adherence rate if the patient returns to the clinic, and also if the patient previously is on what medication. When they try to prescribe medications, they will show you some block, because in Taiwan it's difficult to prescribe osteoporosis medication. The health insurance regulation is very strict. So in that way, they create a very user-friendly system for their physicians and coordinators to communicate with each other. So, and also, all their database is online. So, this is Chinese. Some of you may not be able to read. But I'll try to say that in their initial assessment, they have medical history, they have osteoporosis risk factor, and also they have this, because a lot of medication for osteoporosis involved with some risks of osteoporosis, necrosis of jaw. So every patient will get a dental evaluation before they initiate the medication. Okay, and then there are some have lifestyle medication. During their telephone follow-up, of course, they will ask about medication adherence, adverse side effect, and then if find out if there's some dental status change, and also do some lifestyle change. It all in the computer. And then this is the communication between between coordinator and the physician. So the condition is that the coordinator found that a patient did not show up for their return follow-up, and then asked the doctor through this system what to do, and the doctor said, and call the doctor back, call the patient back, and then they'll just call the patient back, arrange another clinic, and then the thing is done. But in our system, we do not have that. What we do is we have this. We have this. So what we did is we create a line group. A line group. Yeah, we don't have this luxury. So all the physicians and coordinators were in the group. And then so if we want to communicate with the doctor, we just write in the line group, and then the doctor will know what to do, and they'll give the instructions. So if you have more money, you can do that. So if you do not have too much money, you can use a simpler one. Okay, so I think the future plan for this is that right now I moved to another hospital. I'm no longer working for the main hospital, so I try to move this service to my Jinshan branch. So it's the third spot, and also we'll try to work with maybe some other hospital like China Medical University, and then some other hospitals to create some fracture liaison services. And also, good news is that every 3 years, the Taiwan Osteoporosis Foundation, we update our new guidelines, and then we have a series of osteoporosis courses taught to all the healthcare providers. And I think this is a good combination with this fracture liaison service. And again, the first part is do the fracture part, because fracture part is easier to find. But later on, if you want to improve the care for all osteoporosis, you need to try to identify someone in the community that maybe have high risk, still do not have fracture yet. So this will be the primary prevention part, and we'll work hand in hand with Taiwan Osteoporosis Association to reach this goal. So thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.